Hello, everybody. This is my new podcast. I've no name for it yet, but this is how it's going to go. I have my good friend David here. We're going to have just a little silly podcast. The phone camera is going to be looking at the ceiling because I don't really want to infringe on my friends' faces because I don't know if they feel comfortable in doing that. So it's just going to be at the ceiling, and we're just going to have random talks, random chats, and see how it goes. Yeah, hope you like and enjoy. And yeah, enjoy the podcast. Thanks for listening in advance. Oh, God. Oh. And your mommy licks her own gowl. Hello, everybody. It's Dylan here, or people that call me Dilzors. I'm here with my good friend David. He is an artist. He is he's a very good artist, like you know what I mean. So he does all. He's trying to reach out to galleries, get his arts out there, and he's kind of like a creepy artist. Like he does creepy kind of style art. But we'll get into it anyway, and we're just going to talk about like his life of being an artist and stuff like that, and see how it goes. Now, by the way, before we do this podcast, we're just dabbling in the idea of doing this podcast. So I don't know how long the episodes are going to be or how long I'm going to do the podcast for, but I'm kind of going to see can I enjoy it for now anyway. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to let David introduce himself now. So everybody meet David.
Alright, my name is David, and your uncle has started wearing an earring in his left ear.
so what's the life of David like as an artist?
What's the life like? Well, quite a lot of drinking, if I'm honest. And, I like to get my 5 a day in, plus an extra 5. And, just painting and chilling out in my underwear, man. It's still pandemic times, so, I'm enjoying all that shit.
Yeah, and what type of art would you call your art and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, so
I know it's creepy art, like.
Yeah, it is. It's creepy. I love that. It's kind of like gothic surrealism, dark art, and it's not like the old masters like Hieronymus Bosch and Baczynski and the Nightmare Artists. It's more like sort of a modern day, kind of low key, sort of dark surrealism. So basically, it's portraiture. It's highly referenced portraiture.
Okay.
With dramatic skies, backgrounds, uh, woods, castles. I love fucking castles, man. And
yeah, we have many stories to tell in the future about castles.
We've many stories in the future to tell about castles, and just anything that's gloomy that interests me, because there's no shortage of gloomy days in this country.
Yeah, we have very miserable days in this country.
But anything evocative that brings out emotions in people, because I like to paint my characters as sort of very emotional people, storytelling. They're telling a story, and every painting has a story to tell. It's just most people in Ireland can't seem to read.
Yeah, that's a very good answer now, I must say. So what got you into art? Like how did it all start? Like,
Yeah, well, how did it all fart, you mean?
how did it all fart? Because see everybody, he actually calls himself a fartist instead of an artist because he farts more times than he does art.
I am the farting artist. No, well, originally I wanted to be a fucking rock star, man.
Yeah.
Because I played in a lot of bands in my teen years, and we played in a Nirvana tribute band, and I actually blew my voice out, and I haven't been able to sing since. Trying to be Kurt Cobain, but we played all over, man. We played shows all over the country, and in particularly in Westmeath, Offaly, Longford, fucking
Jesus,
Roscommon.
went all over the place.
Yeah, we actually did when I was doing my after.
And was the band called Nirvana a tribute?
No, man, it was fucking. You know what it was? There was Blink-182, but we called it like Smiles 123 or something.
Oh, okay.
As kind of a piss take.
Oh, okay.
Blink-182. And I still don't know why we did that. But one year, and this is a true story, we entered a fucking talent competition, and we called ourselves Whispering Eye after watching. I can't remember what movie it was in. Paul Rudd was in it, and he referenced the word Whispering Eye, which means vagina. So we entered a talent competition called Vagina, and nobody copped it. no, that's true. Yeah, so I started it off with that, and then that kind of led me to album art because I was listening to lots of music back then. And when you see albums like, and you know, Nirvana's In Utero, and
Corn and
yeah, Korn, definitely Korn. I remember seeing the album cover for See You on the Other Side, which is painted by one of my favorite New York artists, David Stupakis. And David and I are actually
good
quite
friends,
good
yeah.
friends now, which is amazing to
I
say.
remember you telling me that, yeah.
And since I seen that album cover, it just opened the whole world. I was like, you can do this on a fucking canvas, like.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, like, he painted this fucking like child and the sky, and like the whole thing looks actually. It looks like he took a photo of the sky, but the sky is a painting. And I was like, that's when I decided, you know. And it was the music from that album and the artwork just go hand in hand. Like when you look at the artwork and listen to the music, it makes sense. And ever since that, I've been trying to replicate it, man. I've been trying to like listen to music, and the music takes you on a journey to paint a certain painting.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
often like even call my paintings after certain songs I'm listening to at the time of painting
Oh,
them. So then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try my hand at painting. You know, I lost my voice in 2013. And I was like, I'm going to fucking go and do some painting now for a bit. And that was it, you know. I did 1 year in Moat Business College in art.
okay.
Um
That's just up the road.
that's just up the road, yeah. So I was actually quite shit at art in those
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pretty
Um,
good at art now myself when I was younger, but I
Drawing
kind
dicks, yeah.
of drawing dicks. Yeah,
That was
I
my
know.
favorite.
In school, you draw the S's. Do you remember the S's that you draw in school? Yeah,
With the little lines.
with the 6 lines. Yeah. So yeah, I know. I used to be alright at drawing art in school, but most of all, I'd be drawing hash plants or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, our thing in Mo, it was hilarious because like this was a portfolio course to get us into fucking college, like real art college.
Yeah.
We were just going around drawing dicks and each other's stuff. The whole class, even the girls, man, just going around drawing knobs and everything. And you know, I found some of my sketchbooks recently, actually, from that time, because like it's nearly 10 years ago, man. I went to Mo in 2020. Yeah, 2012, 2013 was the year I left, and like I look back and just to see how far I've come in 10 years, and I look through it and it's just dicks. I didn't even rub them out for the examiner, and I still passed. So no, after that, that was it. There was no college after that. It was just
You went on your own then.
I went to work for a couple of years. I worked in building sites, and I drove tractors, and I just became a normal
Person.
Midlands boy without the coke addiction. And you know, I just had a massive social life, and then one day I just you know, it's just, it never goes away when there's creativity in you.
Yeah,
It
I
can
know.
go
I
away
know.
for a little bit, and you think it was just a phase in your teens or
Oh,
whatever.
it's kind of called. It's kind of like with me with poetry. Like you get writer's block. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
It's basically you could write like 4 poems in one day, and then like you will have writer's block for a whole month before you are able to get out another poem or something like
that's
that.
fucking
Yeah,
scary, isn't
I
it?
know. So like I try to do as much when the writer block is gone. I try to do as much.
School cans.
I try to do as much. I try to do as much poetry or rapping or like storytelling and stuff like that because that's what I'm good at, you know. So I try to do that as much as I can while the writer block is not there, like, you know. But
Yeah, I
so,
wouldn't say what I had was like was like that. It wasn't like that I didn't have ideas and shit. It was just, well, I was so shit to begin with, and I was trying to be David Stupakis at the age of fucking 17, man, and it just wasn't happening. And you know, little did I know he was 40 years old at that point.
yeah,
He was a master artist, and like I hope to be that good when I'm 40.
and
But the thing
everything
was, you
takes
know,
time, like.
it takes time, and it was the whole thing of me being the moody teenager wearing the band hoodies. I had dreadlocks and like a goatee, and it was just like everyone kept telling me it was a phase. My parents kept telling me it was a phase, and I was like, maybe it is just a phase. So fuck it, you know. I left Moat, I got a real job, and I was a man. And then you know, it came back up a few years later. I think it was when I was 22 years of age, about fucking, yeah, 5 or 6 years ago, and I took it up again and I said, fuck it, you know what? I wasn't able to do it back then, but I bet I can do it now.
Yeah.
Taught myself how to paint properly, because they don't teach you shit in Irish colleges and schools. I'll say it. They don't teach
Yeah.
you shit, man. I learned great drawing techniques in Mo. I didn't learn how to paint.
Oh,
We didn't
okay.
have time to learn how to paint. And
Sure, a year in moat or anything like that will fly by. Like,
it's like fucking pennies in a fucking
yeah.
fountain, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just you don't know where to go. It's just, but the thing is, like, it's funny how it's only, how short a time that you can be good at it if you put your mind to it. Not that I'm saying I'm good. I'm fucking shit, by the way, people. Don't come look for me. It's horrible. I am as terrible as I sound right now.
No, he's only messing with you. He's only messing with you. He's a great artist.
Fuck yeah, man. So that's kind of it. And I used to do a bit of writing myself as well, but we won't dare talk about that. Because,
and how me and David met was so I can't say the word,
commission.
He commissioned a piece for me.
No, you commissioned a piece from me.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, man.
Basically, I got him to do something for me anyway. So basically, I got him to draw a piece of my granddad, my uncle, and my nanny. And by the way, like, that was a phenomenal piece. Like, he's so good at what he does. Like, honest to God, he's so talented. Like, you know what I mean? It's really good what he does. Like.
I appreciate that, man. That was actually that was one of the biggest drawings I've done so far.
Yeah, it's massive. Like.
It was huge. I was surprised at the size of it, and I remember having to work on like one piece of it at a time, and like the edge of the paper would be like almost at the door of the room.
Yeah, I gave it to my ma for Mother's Day actually, and she had, so when you go into my ma's house, like, her stairs are on the right, and as you go up the stairs, the pieces as you go upstairs, the piece is just hanging on the top of the staircase, like, you know what I mean? And it's just lovely to have it there, like, you know.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, but I'm so glad you came to me, because we've been talking ever since that.
Yeah, we've been talking ever since that.
It's fucking crazy, like.
And like, we have so many plans. Like, we're planning to we're planning on getting a tattoo in October. We're planning, so I do poetry. So I have a poem out there called Mirror, and it's basically about a psychopath that's in the forest, and there's like broken mirrors in the forest. But once you come across this broken mirror, that what's it called? This psychopath chases you, and basically, me and David are going to do a photo shoot for that poem. So that's what we're working on doing this year. We're working on dabbling in this podcast kind of thing. We're working on doing this photo shoot for the poem, and we're working on getting a tattoo together, because we have grown very close. Like, you know, he's become like a brother to me. Like, you know, he's a good friend. Like.
Yeah, I know we do have a lot in common. Like, when I found out, I had no idea you were also like an artist, and like you dabble in different things. Like you have the music as well, and you have the poetry, and your poetry, man, inspires me to no fucking end. And I do mean that, because like the title, that's how this photo shoot came about, because the photo shoot is for a painting that I'm going to create based on your vision and my vision together of the poem you did.
Yeah.
And I have another idea as well for Death to the Author.
Yeah. So
that we actually elaborated on this evening.
Yeah.
It's become a whole different idea now.
It's basically two artists working together, but we have two different art forms. Like, I can do poetry, he does art. So basically, my poetry is resonating with his art, and where he's going to create something that's going to blow the roof off the place. Like, you know what I mean?
If I don't get too drunk and blow the roof off myself. It's always a possibility. I could be dead within the year, man.
No. Don't be saying that now. Don't be saying that. You're not going out like no rock star yet. But yeah, so we're going to go out and have a fag now, and we'll be coming back soon. So for you, it's going to be like a couple of seconds, but for us, we're just going to be outside in the fucking cold, freezing our balls off in the storm. So yeah, be back in a second.
Yeah, get that arse.
So we're back, and I just want to ask David, what is his influences in art? Who influences him?
Coors Light. Who influences my art? Yeah, a lot of contemporary people. Everyone tends to go for the greats, like the old masters, Rembrandt and all that, and I do. I have great respect for those artists, but I would say a lot of people who started painting in the late 90s, early 2000s, like David Stupak, as I mentioned earlier, David Hochbaum, another great artist. I tend to go for a lot of surreal artists in America, like Laurie Early, Richard T. Scott, a lot of portrait paint. There's this Alexandra Manukain is a Ukrainian artist, and she's fucking phenomenal, man. So I tend to go for a lot of that.
You may send me on some of these people's art so I can check
Yeah.
them out. Like,
Oh, I definitely will. But I all found them through this through the galleries, the
yeah,
dark art galleries, like Last Rites galleries. Paul Booth
yeah,
has the largest dark art gallery in New York. Well, he had. I don't know if it's going to get back going again, but he showcased all these artists and does really cool, fucking more twisted than I do now, dark
yeah,
art, and it's just amazing stuff. It's real, it's just visceral, and it makes you just like, oh, it just makes you really want to fucking vibe out to it. But
yeah. I remember you showing me videos. Telling me to look up videos of this fella,
yeah,
and
Paul Booth, because he's a tattoo artist,
yeah,
like.
and I've dabbled in tattooing myself, and I know what it's like. But like tattooing is
Oh, fuck, I
it
spilled it all
probably
over myself.
tattooing is not really for me. Like, but I'd love to learn how to do it. Like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, well, man, you're like you're getting there. Like you're fucking covered
I'm
anyway.
pretty much covered. When you have your face tattooed, then it's kind of like
Yeah, game changer.
game changer, you know. But so he influenced you, and many others influenced you.
And
But
influenced you too,
and
I'd
I influenced
imagine.
you. Yeah, he influenced me. Like I like a bit of dark art. Like you can't bear a bit of dark art. Like you have to like every sort of art because well, not every sort of art, but like that plain boring sea art and stuff like that. That's kind of a bit. It's overdone. Like you need stuff like change. You need stuff like with a bit of a twist on it. Like
Yeah, absolutely, man.
everything has to be different. Like you can't just do boring painting a bowl of fruit all the time.
Yeah, well, easy for me to say it. Those are the guys making the money, and unfortunately, like as long as the blue collar art world exists, people like me will have to resort to drawing dole.
or 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 you could be an artist and sculpture your art on the couch.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Have to buy a new couch first.
Yeah.
Last one's destroyed in farts.
Fart artist. So what type of podcast do you listen to?
Yeah, so my number one go to right now is the Blind Boy
Oh, I
podcast.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't. Was it you that put me onto that, or
No, I think
one
you.
of our other friends put
Yeah,
me onto that. But I love it, man. Can't get enough of it.
yeah, he's so good. He's so good. Like the crazy stories he comes out with, it's amazing. Like I remember there one time, he came out with a story, and in part of the story, he was talking about like debt to an author. So it gave me like inspiration to create my poem "Debt to the Author." Like I didn't steal anything. Like I just took what he was talking about
Yeah, sure
and
you
made a
didn't.
poem
Yeah,
about it.
sure you didn't steal that. Nobody steals anything.
It's kind of like I took what would you say
Inspiration.
inspiration from it, yeah, by using that word he said, like and then he also talked like there was one episode where he literally talked about a pineapple for the whole like 1 hour. He talked about how pineapples were introduced in Ireland and how it was such a big thing and stuff like
All of
that.
it true though.
Yeah,
You can't fault him for that. He talks a
yeah,
lot of shite, but it's all true, man.
yeah. He does a lot of research, like so he's pretty good. Like and any other podcast that you listen to?
So Gimme Babble is David Stupakis'
Okay.
podcast. That's an art podcast, and they talk about all sorts of. They just shoot the shit, man. It's sometimes not even about art, which is great, because the last thing you want to do when you're painting is listening to someone talk about painting. What else do I listen to? Yeah, that's I listen to other couple of things. I can't fucking remember right now, but Yeah, anything good. Usually things recommended to me. There used to be a great dark art podcast called Transgressions. That had another tattoo artist. You should look him up. He's called Menton Matthews. Based in Atlanta. They had a great thing for a while. And that's it. Like yeah, those are my main two go to at the minute.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, I'm talking shit.
I
now.
know you're grand. I love obviously Blind Bite podcast. I love Impulsive. It's a kind of YouTube podcast. And I love What's Good podcast. It's another YouTube podcast. And I love Mom's Basement. Most of them are YouTube, like YouTubers, like it's their podcast, like. So, but it's pretty good, like, you know. I love it, like. And that's mostly what I like anyway. And here he is again, burping away.
I'm gonna get sick all over your phone, man.
And you crazy motherfucker. So
Completely professional.
anyways, we're going to let David talk about his where you can find him and what's his Instagram and his Facebook, where you can find his art, and also we're going to try get him onto TikTok. And
No, you won't.
it's
It's not gonna happen. Over my dead body.
We're gonna try get him on. He's nearly joking. But anyways, we're gonna try get him onto other
Hold it
platforms.
together, man. For fuck's sake, what are you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna try get him onto other podcasts and stuff like that, or other platforms. I meant, and see how it goes. So, David, what is your places where you can find your art?
Right. So the main go-to is my studio, and you'll never find it. So no, I'm only messing. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. You can find me on Instagram mainly, under Deity Art. I'm not even going to try and spell that. Just David John Maloney is my official website on the net. DavidJohnMaloney.com. Go there, and there's galleries of photos, and you can find all the information you need to contact me. And there's links to my Instagram, Facebook art page, and Pinterest and other little things like that. And yeah, that's where you'll find me, because my own gallery won't promote me.
And look, David, it was lovely having you today for the first podcast, and I hope that I'll have you again soon, and maybe one day we'll show his face. But for now, all you'll hear is his burps.
And they never saw me again.
Thanks, David.
All right, man.
I'll
Thank
chat
you.
to you after, bud.
All
Right.
right.
Good luck, man.